The University of Missouri Tigers are with us. They are the number 10 seed in the West Region. They represent the Southeastern Conference and will play number 7 seed University of Miami tomorrow night, 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 3. The head coach for the Tigers is Dennis Gates. He'll be joining us a little bit. The men's basketball contact is Jason Vininsky. We have Trent Pierce and Mark Mitchell on the dais, and we'll go right to questions for the two gentlemen. 15-minute session. Start right there.
For Mark and Trent, Vahe Gregorian, Kansas City Star. Can you just talk about, Mark, you spoke about this a little bit, the feelings you had coming out of here in December, that it was a little bit of a lost feeling, and Trent, you weren't healthy yet. I just wonder how you guys reset at that point.
So after that, last time we played here, we had our winter break. We were able to go home. Then we came back and we met as a team, met with the coaching staff, met with our psychologist, and we really just kind of talked about what does it look like going into SEC play for us. And I think that really helped us kind of just get things off our chest and that frustration that we had, and it really helped moving forward, and it's kind of why we're here where we are now.
I think when you come across something like that happens, obviously that was a really bad loss. I think you can choose to go either one or two ways. You're either going to go up or you're going to stay down and sulk and feel bad for yourself. And I think we did the opposite of that. We got back from Christmas break. We took some time off, probably some needed time off away from each other, from the coaches and everything. Just reevaluated what we wanted in the season. We knew we were going to come out and attack the second part of the year, and we did that.
Got two right on the aisle here. Take turns.
Hey, Zach Parnes, KSDK. Mark, what do you think your role is within this team, and how have you seen it change throughout the season?
Honestly, I feel like my role has been the same the whole season. Just someone the guys can look to on and off the court as a leader. With my experience, my abilities on the court, I think I just kind of fall into that role, and I think I've done a pretty good job being someone the guys can look up to whenever.
What was your guys' reaction when you saw St. Louis as the location, and kind of how excited are you to be this close to home?
Trent, you go first, please.
I see it as a game for us just to redeem ourselves here in this arena.
Being close to home, this close to home is pretty cool. Having the home crowd advantage and things like that. But the tournament is a tournament. The location can't play for us, so.
Yep, stay right here, Gina. Thank you.
Obviously, the SEC has a ton of good point guards. Where do you think Donaldson kind of matches up in those ranks?
Mark, go ahead, and we'll go to Trent afterwards.
I feel like he'd be right in the mix. He's a really good player. I remember when he was at Auburn and when he was at Michigan, he's always been pretty good. And him being with Jay, I'm sure, has helped his development this year, and he's having a career year. So he'd be right in the mix. He can shoot, facilitate, do a little bit of everything. So he's a pretty good player.
Yeah, I mean, his numbers show the kind of game that he has, and he's helped his team get to where they are now. So we're going to play him just like we play all the SEC guards, and I'm just excited for that opportunity. Yo.
Right here on the left.
Eric Graves, KBC 9 News. Coming off 3 losses coming into the tournament, how do you kind of reset as you enter into Friday night?
Trent, you're first this time.
Just focusing on the details, the things that we know that losses are their games, and just kind of focusing on those things and moving forward from them, not sulking in those losses and allowing those to hold us back, but just pushing forward and forgetting about those.
Yeah, as Trent said, just focus on the details. You can't dwell too much in the past. Basketball's an up-and-down game, and sometimes it's not going to exactly go your way, and it's a game of margins, a game of possessions. So just find ways we can close some of those possessions better, close some of the margins. I think we'll be in a really good spot.
Anything else for the student-athletes of Missouri? Oh, great. Gentlemen, thank you very much. You are dismissed. Best of luck tomorrow. The head coach, Dennis Gates, will be here at 3:05 sharp. As advertised, we have the head coach of the Tigers here, Dennis Gates. He's going to fill the 305 to 320 slot. We're going to ask him to make a statement on his team about playing in St. Louis, and then we'll have questions. Dennis?
Definitely excited about the opportunity to represent our SEC conference, but also the tenure that I'm in here as the head coach at the University of Missouri. To be able to be here in the city of St. Louis, congrats to St. Louis. Not only are we're here, but you have unbelievable fan base, unbelievable institutions that's also gonna bring excitement to this city as you guys host March Madness. So with that being said, two programs similar in identity, great coaching staff at the University of Miami, great players, and our guys are definitely excited, no different than our opponents will be excited. It's going to be a nip-tuck game, I truly believe. Trying to figure out what that separation point will be will bring us there. A lot of relationships, obviously a former assistant coach, associate head coach Charlton Young, Marcus Allen, who was just diagnosed with cancer on that team, but also the relationship of Mark Mitchell and Coach Lucas, who was on that staff at Duke when he was there, and Ant Robinson, as well as Trey Donaldson, high school career, cross paths in the city of Tallahassee, being coached by the great Charlie Ward. So a lot of things in play, but more importantly, players make plays. We'll do our very best, and we're excited to be here.
Thank you. So questions start right here. Then we got two on the aisle, actually three.
Last year's matchup with Drake was such different styles. What you kind of mentioned, it's similar identities with Miami. Is that something that's easier to prepare for in terms of mimicking in practice? Just how do you guys view that?
Yeah, nothing's easy in this month as we embark on games in March Madness. So last year's last year. This team is a completely different team with a completely different identity. And what we do is look at what we've done this past year against our SEC opponents. If you look at the last game at the SEC, there were so many ramifications. You can either finish third or fourth or all the way to 10th. And then even in our conference tournament. So it was a feel of, a tournament atmosphere because so much was on the line, and that's what this is. I mean, every possession it's going to either indicate a separation or something different, right? A lead or trying to cut a lead. Everything's on either defensive execution or offensive execution, and you either win or go home.
Hey, Coach. For you personally, coaching in NCAA tournament games, whether it's successes or not so much successes, can you describe maybe something you've learned that could help you guys in tomorrow's battle?
Well, when we speak of successes and not successes, I look at it as a success. Coaches get fired left and right for not taking their team to the tournament, and some coaches get fired and have gotten fired for taking their team to the first four. So for me, being in a tournament 4 times in my 7 years as a head coach, 3 in the last 4. And obviously, we put a team together in that year that we did not get into the tournament that I thought was even the most talented team, that we dealt with injuries. There's no school in this tournament right now that's dealt with the cards we've been dealt with. So I'm proud of my staff for how we've handled our team because we went through a lot of injuries. And we had to put things back on the track, so to speak, to move forward. And while other teams may have been in the stages of development because they had their core together since the beginning of November, we hadn't had a core until January. And we're really young when it comes to the experiences this season. But where there's youth, there's also experiences, right? We have a lot of experiences, and that's what the SEC has given us. So for me, I don't look at it as a negative at all in terms of us getting in the tournament. The history of our program is a storied history, but this program has never gotten to the Final Four, never won a championship. So for me, in the last 25 years, we've done some things that has never happened. Back-to-back seasons in the NCAA tournament, 2 10-win, double-digit wins in SEC conference play. So I'm proud of the staff. I'm proud of the players who believe in me as their head coach, who wants to decide in this transactional world to take less money because they want the relationship with Coach Gates and they want me to motivate and push them. So those are the wins, and I'm excited about our donors and our crowd and our fan base that makes our home court an advantage, because it's a true advantage in there. To be able to win or only lose, I think 4 or 5 games in the last 2 years is awesome. Would love to be undefeated, but we're not. There's a lot of positives before I think about the negatives, and this SEC schedule prepared us for our NCAA. You cannot complain. You cannot sit here and overanalyze seedings. You just got to make sure you're excited about the opportunity, and we're excited about the opportunity to be in the NCAA tournament.
Next 2 questions are right here next to each other. Go.
Hey, Coach. Zach Barnes, KSDK. I'm wondering if you view this as a home game of sorts, even though we are at a neutral site, just being so close to Columbia, and what that means for you in the program.
Well, I don't view anything as a home game because it's not at Mizzou Arena on Norm Stewart Court. I don't know. I can't project the season, the ticket sales. So we look at it as the NCAA tournament. And NCAA tournament is all about neutral sites. That's why the growth of MTEs took place, so you can have a postseason sort of experience in a preseason once you get selected and once you get the site that you're supposed to go to. So for us, we're just looking at it as a game at a neutral site court. Purdue travels, so I'm sure their fans are going to buy a lot of tickets. Queens, first-time tournament team. Coach has done a tremendous job there. They're excited. They're going to buy a lot of tickets. So whatever allotment that was given to us, I know it's not the entire arena. I do know that. So we'll see what it looks like, what it sounds like. But I'm excited about the opportunity. That's how I see it. And our guys are excited about being a participant in this tournament, and our staff are excited as well.
Matthew Rocchio, STL Sports Central. Trent's had a big year. How do you just get him more involved as a three-point shooter instead of just the drive and kick threes?
You're talking about Trent Pierce?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Trent Pierce is definitely an impact player for us. Our season had not changed without him being a part of it. And he and Jaden Stone, health was very important in that. And you could see our team grow from there. Kid with a high basketball IQ. Now, with that, he's not a one-on-one player. So sometimes kids, continue to develop. That's what we plan for the offseason for Trent, to continue to get better, continue to develop, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, right? Making sure he stays healthy. 6'10", 6'11", catch-and-shoot guy is an NBA player in my mind. High basketball IQ on both sides, defensively and offensively. But progress has to be patient, simply because whether it's off-season, whether it's growth, whether it's mental, whether it's physical, you have to have your own race, and he's running his own race. I appreciate his patience. I appreciate his parents' patience. It's been very refreshing when you can connect with a family and they cut away all the other things and they just concentrate on the development of their child. And it's not just all basketball talk. We talk about life. So for me, being a mentor is also something I take pride in. And I mentor guys in a way that have a lasting relationship. And I'm excited not only where he's at now, but in this transactional world, him becoming a graduate from the University of Missouri, being one of few players in the SEC or across the country to be at an institution for 4 years. And then let's see what that pro career looks like, because there's no bigger champion for Trent Pierce than I will be. I'll push his name, and my contacts will become his contacts, And I'm excited to see him not only as a professional player, but a husband and a father, and also, the relationship continuing.
We are under 5 minutes to go. Next question is up on the right-hand side there against the wall.
Coach Gates, Aaron Ladd with KMU8 out of Columbia. You all have faced some big deficits in the first half, your last two games. I believe it was 15 against Arkansas, 15 against Kentucky. How do you start faster in a neutral site in a game here against Miami?
Well, first, my hats off to those opponents. They have done a great job, but also when you look at who they were, the two opponents were Arkansas, who won the SEC Tournament championship. Who did we play before Arkansas? Oklahoma, who is one of the hottest teams in the country, right? So you look at how and why. We've played and faced some unbelievable opponents, and I'm excited about where we are. But then you look at even Kentucky at the SEC tournament. That was a road game, I can tell you that. We just got to continue to watch film. But what I'm proud about is how we respond. In both those games, we put ourselves in position to get the lead. So it says something about our character. It says something about our ability. Now, can we do that over 40 minutes? And, that'll be what you and I will see at the same time.
All right, 3 minutes to go. Questions on the right.
Hi, Coach. Joseph Pastilla from the Columbian Missourian. In conversations I've had with Jaden throughout the season, a lot leading up to this point has been about his desire to kind of prove that he was meant for this stage and sort of coming to grips with the fact that he knows he's talented enough to play at this level. How have conversations with him in the lead up to this tournament game been now that he's finally got this opportunity to play in March?
I think it's awesome. Both he and Sean Phillips, first-time NCAA tournament kids, and their experiences, they're looking forward to it. They're excited. Sometimes the season takes its toll, so we have to make sure we take and continue to take those baby steps and focus on the little things, the impact on defense, the impact on the intangibles, and not just the stat sheet of points. And he'll continue to do that.
2 questions remain, one here, one in the back.
Coach Eric Graves, KMBC out of Kansas City. When it is a win-or-go-home NCAA tournament game, do you talk to your guys about that, about the big stage, or do you try and treat it like any other game? What's your approach there?
Well, we talk about it in June. We prepare for it. We build teams around it. It's part of our recruiting conversations. So when you look at the big picture, you talk about your seasons as it relates to the summer, obviously preseason leading into that month or 2.5 before the games, and then regular season play, and what those obstacles present. And the identity of your team will change, and you'll see guys lead, you'll see guys become vocal, you'll see guys grow right before your eyes. But there's no doubt we talk about the entire course of the season, and these guys have been in tournament play. They've played high-level basketball their whole lives, and it's nothing new. So they talk about it amongst themselves, and if a conversation starts with a player first combo, then that helps us as coaches. So I'm just thankful our team talks about those things and they experiencing them. They're fans of basketball. They understand what the NCAA tournament is, because the prelude to that is obviously being able to play in the SEC conference tournament.
Bracketeer.org. Along similar lines to that question, you're in your playing days. You went to the NCAA tournament with Cal and Ben Braun. How much of that experience and wisdom do you impart on your team, or is it more of an approach of you'll offer that experience and perspective if a player comes up to you? How do you strike that balance?
That's a good question. I keep in contact with all my coaches. My elementary school coach, Coach George Friel, him and his family will drive down. My high school assistant coach will drive down. Ben Braun is probably doing TV, but we often talk and converse. Leonard Hamilton, somebody that I've worked for, he'll be watching as he started his first job was at, or his second job was at Miami. I have a close relationship with those guys. So for me, I take my identity as a coach, and ever since I knew that would be my path, I kind of put the do's and don'ts, the things I would do, the things I would change, sort of in a book. And in that book, I've written things down on how I want my process to go. I don't lead with I'm a former player. My identity is coaching. I'm not a player. I don't talk about my playing career. I talk about winning, and I talk about winning championships. I know how to win, and that's where I summarize it to. But I'm not standing on a soapbox talking about I had 30 this game and 15 this game, and I don't even think I ever scored 30 anyway. But I don't talk about that, right? I don't talk about that. I talk about winning behavior, and silently I measure winning and losing behavior, and I eradicate certain things that needs to go. So in part, I use it in my intuition when I can foresee something coming. I use it in my adjustments that I have to make in game, and it's just a plethora of experiences because I've worked for some great coaches, late great Dennis Johnson, Alvin Gentry in the NBA. I worked for Tom Crane. I worked for Leonard Hamilton. I worked for Ricardo Patton. I worked for Ben Braun. I worked for David Carter, right? I've worked for a lot of guys, that have won a ton of games, and that is not remotely close to where I usually pull from. I pull from others because that's what I've always done in my life. So great question. I appreciate the question. I appreciate you guys.
Dennis, we appreciate you. Thank you very much for your time.
Man, you good on this time. You're a stickler.
It was an education, really.
I appreciate you, man.